guys, it's Con from Hollywood Studios, and today we are going to be counting down my top 5 GCI roller coasters that I have ridden. If you don't know who GCI is, they're also known as Great Coasters International and are known for making wood coasters around the world. They have a very distinct looking train. Not all of their coasters have the same Millennium Flyer train, but most of them have the Millennium Flyer train. The Millennium Flyers are very comfy, and most GCIs are actually pretty good. There are a couple I have ridden that I'm not a big fan of. Well, you guys are about to find out which GCIs I have ridden and which GCIs I'm not a big fan of. Now, I wouldn't say I hate any of these coasters. Even the one in last place, I don't hate it. I just think it's not too enjoyable. But all these coasters, especially the ones in the top 3, are very good. So, if your favorite GCI didn't make this list, chances are I haven't ridden it, because these are the only 5 GCI roller coasters I have ridden. Now, let's get into the top 5. At number 5, we have Wildcat at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, this is the ride I said I don't necessarily hate it, but it's super rough, and the layout's kind of boring, quite honestly. So, first of all, the roughness is just insane. It's almost as if GCI made it to be so rough. Now, this was GCI's first coaster, so you can't exactly blame them for not being amazing, because not everyone's first attempt on something is going to be great. But, it's still a good start for GCI. I think if it had some more speed going through the layout, it'd be better. But it's just crazy, because I rode this front row at night in 2017, right? It was so shaky, my dad almost lost his watch on it. It was almost stupidly rough. It was weird how rough it is. When I rode it in 2012, I did not remember it being so rough. But it's really rough. It's still an okay ride. It's bearable if you sit in the front. I don't really remember the back seats. But this ride, it's not that good of a coaster. It's definitely my least favorite GCI I've ridden. At number 4, we have Roar at Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland. Now, this ride is also one of the first GCIs. I wouldn't say it's horrible. It's definitely a little rough, and this is one of the only GCIs, if not the only GCI, that doesn't have Millennium Flyer trains. So it has these, I'm pretty sure they're PTC trains, and they actually have 2 rows per car, so you can't get a non-wheeled seat on it. So I got the front of a car. I got front row. That's the only time I rode it once. And, the layout was pretty cool. I got some pretty good laterals, some small pops of airtime. This coaster is definitely rough. I would say it's just like Wildcat. I would say that this would be a good coaster for an RMC conversion. But for Six Flags America, it's still a pretty good ride. It's definitely not unbearable by any means. I only got one ride on it, like I said, front row. I did not ride back. I don't know how rough back is or how good it is, bad it is. I don't know. So, from the one ride I got on it, it wasn't too bad. At number 3, we have Invader at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Williamsburg, Virginia. Now, this ride, on paper, it may not look like much just because of the smaller stats and the fact that it's a family coaster, but wow, this coaster is fun. It is probably one of my favorite family coasters, and it's a really good GCI. It's pretty smooth, not really rough. It feels like a wooden coaster, but it's not rough. And there's some small airtime pops. There are some hills that you'd expect to get airtime over, but you don't. But that's all right. It has some really cool laterals, and that last helix before the brake run is pretty intense. For a family coaster, it's pretty intense. So I really do like this wooden coaster. It's a great fit for Busch Gardens. I like the theme. It's just really cool walking through the queue. It's just such a nice looking coaster. I love the trains. They're just so cool. And overall, it's a really good family coaster. At number 2, we have Lightning Racer at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Now, technically, these are 2 coasters, but I'm counting them as one for this list. This coaster is awesome. I would definitely say it feels more like a family thrill coaster, just because it really doesn't have the airtime like other coasters, but wow, this ride is awesome. I love the dueling aspect to it. From my experience, they race it every time. It's not too rough, it feels like a wooden coaster like Invader. It's definitely a little rougher than Invader, but it's really cool. I think my only real complaint about this ride, moments where you're really supposed to get airtime, I didn't get any airtime. So that kind of wasn't too good, but otherwise, I really can't say this coaster's bad when it has the laterals it does. The fact that it's a dueling racing coaster, it's a really cool ride. A really good fit for Hershey Park. Definitely much better than Wildcat, the other GCI of Hershey Park. And this ride is just a really cool ride. Now at number 1, I'm pretty sure you all saw this coming, it's Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. Oh my God. This coaster is amazing, spectacular. It easily makes my top 10 for coasters I've ever ridden. The airtime on this ride is nuts. I will say in the back seat I didn't get too much airtime, but when I rode it in the front row, wow. A front row night ride on this thing is almost as crazy as a Beast night ride. I mean, obviously Beast night ride is still better, but this is a really good night ride and a really good day ride too. I love the shed. Yeah, it's a little cheesy, and it was like, it kind of underwhelmed enthusiasts when they first found out what it was, but it's such a cool theme. I love the Miami River Lumber Co., all the wood sheds in the queue, the entrance itself just looks spectacular. Overall, this ride is just spectacular. And that'll conclude it for this list of my top 5 GCI roller coasters I've ridden. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do want to note these opinions, these are my opinions. They are not supposed to be taken as facts. These are my opinions. If you have different opinions, that is totally okay. You can comment what you disagree with down in the comment section. That's totally okay. Like I said, I am not treating these as facts. These are simply my opinions. Now, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new Collywood Studios video. I'm Colin from Collywood Studios, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.